Yeah, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats over there are planning a pajama party sit-in protest over the Obamacare repeal and replace, and they're up there threatening Americans with all kinds of trillions of dollars of debt, and economic system will collapse and you'll never be able to replace it. Nancy Pelosi says it's too complicated of a document. Nobody can replace it. It's there to stay. It'll never happen. Americans need to wake up and realize that this is the plan for the future, and blah, 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 blah. You know, these Democrats are trying to hold on to anything they possibly can, because now, in possibly about the last maybe it's been 100 years, maybe, the Republicans control the House, the Republicans control the Senate, the Republicans control the majority of governorships, the Republicans control the majority of state legislators, the Republicans have the White House. The Republicans got it all. The Americans finally stood up and told our government what we want, and we're sick and tired of the Democrats destroying America. Okay? Now, are some Democrat policies okay and good? Yes. Are the majority of them horrible and destructive? Yes. Does everybody agree with me? No. Okay. Are some GOP policies destructive? Yes. Are some GO policies good and effective? Yes. But at this point in history, America has chosen to go with the GOP, so let's just deal with it and move on, okay? Now, the Iran deal. Remember the $400 million that we shipped over to Iran and said it was not for ransom, but it really was? Yeah, well, maybe that figure wasn't even correct. It might have been more around $10 billion. I was watching a report over there on Infowars.com with Leanne McAdoo and Margaret Howell. You can look it up. It's titled Democrats Plan to Block the Inauguration. It's over there on Infowars.com. They were talking about this figure of $400 million, maybe possibly being more in the $10 billion range in gold, cash, and assets. And the fact that you've got Ron Johnson stating that it will most likely go to terrorism. And hey, man, I'm looking at it like this, you know. We can't trust Iran anyway. And we've had lots of problems with them, especially lately with them driving a boat in a suicidal mode towards the U.S. Navy ship with guns manned, basically playing chicken with them. And our Navy ship takes a couple warning shots. And I got to tell you, man, the Iranians are lucky they didn't get blown out of the water, because Donald Trump has stated any Iranian ship that approaches a U.S. Navy vessel in an aggressive manner or gets too close or threatens them will be blown out of the water. And I believe that if that order stands, our Navy will do it. So here we go with this Iran thing. They're getting uranium from Russia. Now, where did Russia get 20% of Americans' uranium from? From Hillary Clinton. So maybe this uranium is actually, I don't know for sure, don't quote me on this, but think about it now. Russia's getting 20% of American uranium. They own 20% of American uranium. They are here in our mines. They're controlling 20% of our mines. They're getting it right out of our ground and shipping it back to Russia. And some of it's getting enriched and some of it's not, I'm sure. Now Iran's getting Russian uranium. Where did that possibly come from? Right here, most likely. So, you know, there's a lot of things that's happening lately. Iran is stepping up to the plate and taking an aggressive stance. And let's remember now, Iran and Russia are basically allies economically. And Russia will take a stand. But you know what? I believe that our relations with Russia will begin to improve with Donald Trump being the president. So anyway, that's my report on that. We're just going to have to see how that develops and how that plays out with the pajama party sit-in and these new developments with Iran taking an aggressive stance. My name is Johnny Jetrod. Thank you, America.